Okay, do we have some volunteers with roving mics, please? Volunteers with roving mics? Are they in the room? Sorry, I will get some roving mics. Hang on just one moment. No roving mics? Okay, I think what we'll do is we'll try and get as many points from the audience as possible. So I'll go around the room and I'll literally just try and skim around the room and get, literally all of you in, hopefully, who want to make a point. And then at the end of that, we'll very quickly come back and ask for 1 to 2 minute responses from each of our panellists to enable you guys to get as much in as possible. So we'll start over here, this gentleman here at the front. If you could be very quick.
Stuart Hill, Benton branch. In the last 3 weeks, there's 13 people joined our branch. 9 women, 4 men. One 14-year-old girl can't join until October. She would have made it 10. We have actually opened, or we're seeking, the local government party is asking the region if they'll agree that all the other 40, 50 members who've joined our constituency can be considered as council candidates and be involved in that process. In the debate in the local government party, the strongest argument against allowing new members to participate was that we might get infiltrated by the BNP. And that's the cultural fear of sitting councillors being frightened of incoming people, especially young people, because they're not to be trusted. The only other thing is the email question. I just think we should devolve it so that there's a named person, not a constituency officer, a named person in each constituency, and we ask for people's addresses, and it's passed on to the 650. That's better than just nobody at head office. This
gentleman here.
David Spilsbury, Birmingham Hall Green. I have a question, but first of all, I'd like to say how delighted I am to hear that there's a move to make Young Labour semi-autonomous by becoming an affiliated society. The Labour Party has a dreadful history of controlling and closing down its youth organisations. If we're serious about renewal, we need a vigorous youth organisation. My question arises from the third leader in today's Guardian, which is suggesting postponing the election for leader so that hustings can be held at conference and so that Harriet Harman can make a leader's speech or an acting leader's speech. I'd just like to hear particularly, obviously, from Anne Black and Douglas Alexander what they think, but also from the panel generally. It sounds to me like a good idea.
Okay, if we can now sort of move to the back, this gentleman here in the black shirt.
Paul Thompson, Edinburgh North and Leith, and ex-editor Renewal. I think all these tales of terrible machine politics are very interesting and enlightening. But I think, to be honest, it suits the current leadership to generate the idea that there's some kind of organisational fixes to the current problems of the failure of the New Labour project. I mean, only the terminally naive believe that there'll ever be a day when you can go to your local branch meeting and it will be entertaining or interesting. What people want to be able to do is to switch on to Newsnight, watch people like Douglas Alexander and not feel that they're talking crap, right? One final point, Tony referred to regeneration of the Labour Party. Well, to make a Doctor Who parallel, when a new Doctor Who comes along, the old Doctor Who has to die. The New Labour project is already dead. We need to give it its formal last rites and develop a left social democratic new Labour project.
Thank you. Alon.
Hi, I'll be very quick. Alon Orbach, I'm one of the couple of members of the National Policy Forum that wasn't meant to get elected. I want to just echo and back Sam Tarry on his work on Young Labour. I fought for the NEC Youth Rep in 2003, as Gavin may well remember, as my campaign manager, and was told the rumours going around that I'm homophobic and anti-Semitic. And as a gay Jew, I find it very, very difficult to counter those. I just want to echo and thank Tony for his piece on this week. On my time on the NPF, some of the things I've seen have been so difficult. The dominance of special advisors who know better than everyone, know better than members of parliament what to do, know better than members of the party what to do. I think we need to end the SPAD dominance of our policy making. And I think that's something we need to focus on, and I'm going to ask our leadership candidates about. So for me, the NPF is not a dead hope. I helped the two Johns contribute to that pamphlet about how we can renew the NPF and make the National Policy Forum. Thankfully, now we've got one member, one vote, thanks to the support of most of the panel here. This is a chance to make the National Policy Forum a council for the Labour Party, represented by all wings of the Labour Party.
Okay, can I ask this lady here to ask a question? Just here, yeah.
Hi, I'd like to ask a terminally naive question about process. As a relatively young member whose younger brother just joined the Labour Party, and I'm at present trying to keep him from attending any sort of meetings, if we all think the party needs to be more democratic and we need to change our culture, what can we actually do? What can I, as a member who doesn't have any sort of power beyond an individual, do? What can I do to make sure my brother can have some positive first experiences of the party?
Okay, and this lady at the front, please.
My name is Joan Penrose, and I have several sons who have mental health problems. What I have found increasingly over the last few years is the complete lack of accountability to mental health patients and their families by the Department of Health.
Sorry, is this a question about transforming the Labour Party?
Yes, it is that the Labour Party should become interested in my sort of question, which we have put to the Labour Party for the last few years and completely ignored.
Okay, sure. Okay, this gentleman just here.
Now, do you get up? Right, the reason that the new Labour Party lost the election, lost millions of votes, lost many MPs and lost many members, because the people couldn't see any difference between the Labour Party and the Tory Party. That Blair not only took us into wars, but he took away Clause 4. And Clause 4 was the thing that made the difference between the Labour Party and the Tory Party. I'm 92 and I can remember, I can go back before you all born, at the end of the war, everybody expected Churchill was going to get in. But the forces wanted a change, and Clement Attlee gave them a change. He nationalised the railways, he nationalised the mines, water, gas, electricity, transport, the Bank of England. He gave us the National Health Service. That was the Labour Party and socialism. We want to do away with the new Labour Party and get back to the old Labour Party.
Okay, if we could move to the back now. This gentleman here.
Blimey, follow that. Gavin, you said that we heard a lot this morning about transforming the Labour Party, but my recollection was that we heard rather a lot which suggested that maybe we do better to join the Green Party. We heard that they had a better manifesto,